Well, well, well. So thanks for being here. We should all just pause for a moment and appreciate the fact that we are practicing, that we're taking care of ourselves, and that this practice is an act of self love. And I was just reflecting on what has happened just in the last week um, in our country. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that you are taking really good care of yourself. And with that, I want to remind us that for those of us who are working with pain in the body or low spirits, which I saw a lot of this week, to approach the practice from the perspective of creating rest for ourselves. When we do that, instead of pushing, right? Because the push is against how we're feeling. So if we can create a space of rest, then that space of rest grows around whatever it is that's here, like sadness. And then we have a little bit of room to find something else or to cultivate another experience. So just remember that when it's low, give it space and give it space through rest. And even as we move on the mat, that's possible. So I want to share with you what I'm learning in my own practice, which is what I tend to do. This has been, even though so much, such a sense of tumultuousness during the week, I have found incredible benefit from studying and learning and following the desires of my heart in terms of developing and learning. I'm learning so much. And that, in a certain sense, like a mantra protects the mind, learning keeps things new and inspired. And I'm passing that on to you in case you're at all like me, that this is a great time to get really passionate, even if it's 10 minutes a day with something we care deeply about, because that fuels us. So with that said, I'm studying a little bit with Richard Freeman, and we've been talking a lot, he's been talking a lot about the kidney wings, and some of you who've been practicing yoga for a long time probably know about the kidney wings. So where are the kidneys? They're around here, right? So T12, right at the base of the rib cage where the psoas and the QL begin. The kidneys are back there. We think about opening the heart all of the time. We don't think about, I probably should speak for myself, I don't think as much about the kidneys. The last few weeks we've been talking about the really intricate, subtle, and fascinating relationship between the pubic bone and the coccyx, and how the two of them, if you move pubic bone towards coccyx, all of a sudden everything's opened here. There's been whole yoga practices dedicated to this wide open. You go the other way, you move the coccyx toward the pubic bone, and there's a sense of rounding but also grounding. And we all live somewhere along this chain as we're walking and sitting and moving through the day, knowing where we live, whether you're one of these people or you're one of these people, then we can use the practice to help balance and come to what we often refer to as the middle path, right? We get tubular, and we use our mountain pose to recalibrate so that we're upright. So back to the wings. So from the wings, when we extend our arms up, it's easy to just extend the arms up but not connect the arms to the kidneys. So when we lift the arms today, let's consider lifting from the kidneys. We'll practice that. The other thing we'll look at is when we extend our arms out to the side, often we'll extend from the shoulders to the fingertips, but we will not really engage the elbows. So we'll try that and see what that does to the shoulders. And we'll explore just new ways of moving, because we are automatic pilot creatures. And on the mat, obviously reflects a great deal of how we are off the mat. And opening to new perspectives or new lenses through which to see the practice also helps us to explore new lenses through which we see the world. Yeah? And even in what we call times of trouble and tumultuousness, sometimes it's just a recalibration of the lens. Where are we going habitually? That's worth noting. And then how can we subtly shift, not as a way of avoiding what's there, but acknowledging that sometimes what's there is deep pattern, and that there are probably many, many other choices available. Just worth considering, because the last thing we want to do is render ourselves useless. Yes, many of us practice yoga regularly, many of us support other people, many of us teach, and we want to be able to continually wipe off the lens if the lens has gotten foggy and polish our own mirrors. As Krishna Das often says, many great folks have said, so that we can reflect our truest and greatest nature. So shall we? Shall we do that? Okay. Let's come on to our backs first. So line back. Let the body rest for a moment. Just check in. It's a Saturday morning. If that means anything anymore to you, it might, especially if you're a mom with kids in school. Just allow the arms to roll out like cactus, and then slide the shoulder blades down the back and feel into the body, and see if in this short time here we can contact the sensations in the body, feeling in all the way down into the legs, into the feet. And by contacting, feeling in, we can begin then to establish a healthy intention for our practice. The motivation for the practice is good and clear. So if we're feeling pretty energized, we may want to explore that. And if we're feeling lower, then like I said before, be ease filled. So from here, draw the elbows down toward the rib cage. And when you do that, you'll notice that the rib cage wants to jet forward probably. Keep the lower ribs down. Don't force it. But then from the kidneys, extend the arms up. See if you can feel the difference between, yes, you're using your imagination for sure because your kidneys are not attached to your arms, but move from that place this morning. So the elbows come back down and then right back up again. Like you've got these great wings that you didn't know about. Slowly coming back down. And then back up. And we might notice right away that one arm is quite different than the other. We just allow for all of our interesting idiosyncrasies and make space for the differences. And then one more time, up we go. And exhaling. Wonderful. Now bring your legs together, point your toes. Send the arms up over your head. Let's interlace your fingers. So your index fingers point up and extend from the kidneys upward, from the kidneys downward, and then legs over to the left and the upper back to the left, the arms to the left. Let the right hip draw downward. And then we breathe into that space. Good, then we walk the legs back over now to the right, and upper back and arms extend to the right. We're really interested in the upper left lungs, the side lungs, like an aeration station. Good, and then we return. Interlace your fingers behind your head so your thumbs draw down the nape of your neck. Walk your feet in, please. Draw your knees up. Feel your lumbar spine make contact with the ground. Lift the head. And then gradually draw the elbows toward the knees toward the elbows, so that we're rounding and pressing the lower back into the ground. And then we'll slowly open, not enough to come all the way down. And exhale, coming back. Inhale, open. Exhale. It's easy to think about this as being like a sit-up, but in fact we're curling the spine upward, curling the coccyx upward, and then inhale, we open. And we'll do 3 more of these. Feel like you're inhaling, opening wings, and exhale, draw back. And then place the arms and the head back down on the ground. All right, we have another experiment here. So the way this goes is that the left knee comes in, and again, from the kidney, when you lift your right elbow up, see if you can bring your kidney toward your knee. The right kidney toward the left knee. It doesn't matter whether you touch, but just get that action. Right kidney toward left knee. Then come back down. And left kidney toward right knee. And back down. You may notice that one side is much easier than the other. Right kidney, left knee. So I know that when I do this, normally, I don't use those 2 points for my twist. Find left kidney to the best of your ability. Good, and imagine that they're magnets, that they really want to be together. And last one. Okay, wonderful. Preliminary work complete. Draw the knees in, give yourself a hug. Side to side roll just a little bit. And up we come. Let's take the hands to the ground. Legs draw back. Downward facing dog. Let's walk it back and forth. I'm just feeling our way into the body this morning. This October morning. Front of the thighs lift upward. But let's all bend the knees first. Let the pelvis really extend upward. Wrap the outer shoulder blades around the upper chest. And if you can keep the length in the spine, go ahead, begin to extend the legs. But remember, we do not. The legs and the arms are in service to the spine, so care most about lengthening the spine. Good. Then we inhale, exhale, knees do bend. We look past the hands and step or float forward between the hands. Inhale, lengthening. Draw the sternum away from the pubic bone. Exhale, fold forward over bent knees. Let's hang out for a moment. Let the head and neck hang. We just empty out anything that gets in the way of tracing the path of breath, which is another way of saying being present. See if you can feel your breath. Place your attention on your breath. And now, the coccyx is going to move toward the pubic bone as you make your way up. And keep that action the whole way. Then send the arms all the way up. Exhale, releasing the arms. Pausing in mountain pose. My favorite word, one of them, tubular, getting tubular. Separate your toes wide. Use the muscles of your feet, engaging. Yes, pressing four corners of the feet downward, and then begin to hug the bones, lifting. Pelvis is neutral. We find neutral in our own body. Become aware of coccyx dropping, pubic bone to move toward each other. Is that possible? Creates almost a sense of a container in the pelvis. Yeah. The analogy is that we're creating a container to be able to hold. We make space for whatever's here. Drawing the arms down, the fingertips extend, and imagine straightening the elbows a little bit more than you might normally. Feels a little bit like a soldier. Okay, good. Then draw the palms together at the heart. Feel the back of the neck lift, the head lift. Let's begin with the Gayatri Mantra. If you know it, please join me. I will imagine that I can hear you. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. All right, so standing at the top of the mat, now it's time to spread the wings. From the kidneys, we inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Let the head and neck hang for a moment. Inhale, pubic bone away from sternum. Exhale, hands down, legs back, pause in plank. Push back through your heels, front body strong. Good little rounding in the upper back. Move the shoulder blades away from each other. Protraction of the shoulder blades. Feel, take a few breaths to feel into that space. Good, inhaling. Exhale, slowly lower the way you do. Many of us, it'll be knees and torso down. Put the feet down on the ground. Press the feet. Imagine all 10 toes pressing. And then pull your mat. Lift your breath up into the top of the lungs. Exhale, slowly release. Do that again. Inhale, lifting. Press the legs. Exhale, slowly down. And one more, inhaling. Barely use the hands if you can. Exhale, coming back down. Good, now scoop. Tuck your toes under. Scoop your hips back toward your heels to downward facing dog. It's a little walk back and forth. Good, and then let the water settle. So take your dog. Lifting the front thighs upward. Lifting the pelvis upward. Wrapping the shoulder blades. And inhale. Exhale, knees bend. Look past the hands, step or float forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms, pause in mountain. You could close the eyes for a moment. Just notice if any little habits accrue in the way you stand. Feeling coccyx and pubic bone drop. Heart is open. Kidneys, find the kidneys. Good, here we go. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, step or float back and lower through on the same breath, or knees and torso down. And then inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, over the toes, downward dog. So the snake image appears quite a bit in our practice. And it's helpful, it's a useful image, especially with the tail, that we do have this little tail down there.
And you think about extending that tail all the way down the back of the legs toward your heels. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands, step or float forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, release, let go. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, pause. Mountain pose, pause and feel in. So we might have developed a motivation or intention for our practice this morning. We just noticed, well, how's it going so far? You know, what are we bringing to this? Now, take your knees, bend them please. Have your fingertips graze the floor. And as you lift your arms, imagine that you're doing that from the kidneys, extending through the elbows and the fingertips. So that's what I find that's interesting about that, is it takes less emphasis or attention on my shoulder girdle and more like from a deep extension from the mid-back. Then inhale, come up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, step or float back. Take a vinyasa, or if you want to meet in downward dog, do. And sweep the right leg up and back. Let's keep the hips square here. First, they're level. Extend through the right heel. And then draw the right thigh into the rib cage. The foot lands lightly. All right, so when the arms extend up, you got it by now. Reaching up from the kidneys. Sinking in. Wake up the back leg. Good. Feel into the whole front line of the thigh, the hip flexors. And imagine that back leg was part of your tail. So we divide up the body in parts based on language. Feel the whole body here. And then we're going to take the wings and cross left elbow on top of right elbow. Some of us may bring the hands to the shoulders. Palms come together. And we'll come forward and take the left leg around the right leg and sink. Crossing left ankle maybe around the right. Sink, draw everything to midline. So Garuda Garudasana, the arms extend upward a little bit. And as they extend up, let's see if we can find the connection to the kidneys. You can feel the muscles in the upper back. You might even round the upper back just a little bit to find it. Good, now take your left leg back behind you. Reach back, pivot the heel. Open out the arms now like wings, warrior two. Like great wings, and then straighten the elbows. What I find when I straighten the elbows is that actually gives the shoulders a chance to rest a little. Sinking in, opening the inner legs. Move the breath into the outer reaches of the body. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Right leg back, meeting in downward dog, or take a vinyasa. And then we allow the water to settle in our dog. Allow the posture to get quiet. And we notice that as the body gets quiet, the mind gets quiet. And establish a steady gaze wherever the gaze lands. And we may notice the mind wanders a little bit. We gently draw it back. Gently is very important. We take the left leg up and back. Hips are level. Pull back through your left heel. Yeah, you may want to swell the upper back a little bit. Inhale, exhale, thigh to rib cage, foot lands lightly, push back through your back heel, and we rise. Then sweep the arms up from the kidneys, keeping the heart open all the while. Sinking in. Remember the tail, the snake tail, extends all the way through your back heel. And we give ourselves a break from language just for a moment to feel into the whole body. Before you know it, the mind begins to chatter again. It's amazing. Now, let's wrap the wings, right arm over left. Sink forward just a little bit. Right leg comes forward, crosses. Good. Foot might take itself back behind the ankle, and it might not, no big deal. Squeeze to midline, hug, and then send the arms up. See if you can find the kidney connection to the arms. Breathe from the inside out, grow. Upper back muscles, maybe you sink. Let the mind get quiet here. Okay, now take your right leg back behind you. Slowly, slowly it lands. Pivot the right heel. Turn, open the arms out. Find the connection. Extend. Good, strong elbows. Gaze is steady. Opening the inner groin, inner thighs. And imagine breathing from the kidneys. Good, strong elbows just for a few more breaths. Inhale, exhale, hands down, left leg back, lower through or meet in the dog. And then just allow the body to settle, all the sensations to settle. We're coming on the season pretty soon of snow globes. And this practice is much like a snow globe, where we shake, shake, shake through movement, and then we watch as there's a settling. And that settling and resting internally gives us room for whatever's here to settle a little bit. We inhale. Exhale, knees bend, look past the hands, step or flip forward between your hands. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees. Now lift the arms from the kidneys, almost like the shoulders don't exist. It's from the kidneys up. And then rising up, exhale, releasing the arms, pause in mountain pose. Feeling in, find your feet again. Any locking or holding, relax just a little bit. Let the gaze steady. Notice that subtle drawing together of pubic bone and coccyx. May take a while to feel that. All right, so let's do this again, only slightly differently. Bend knees, touch the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, step or float back or meet in the dog. Go ahead now, send your right leg up and stack it, please. Look at your left kneecap, it's lifted. Make space. You can feel right here. Some of you are going to drop. You're really, you're open. We call this kind of pranic, where the chest draws to the floor. Some of you are going to be rounded. See if you can even out that experience. Find the middle way here. The mountain in it. We inhale, exhale, thigh to rib cage, foot lands. Now pivot your back heel, but make just a little bit of space between your feet like you're on a railroad track, and then slowly rise. Keeping the right knee bent. Okay. Now a couple weeks ago what we did was a whole class without using the arms. And this is a little bit like that, but the cueing will be slightly different. So we'll bring the palms together and we'll fold. And what I want us to imagine is that the left kidney over here is looking for the right knee. So the elbow may never touch, it may never come around. Have the twist be from there. Left kidney to right knee. Do that work. Keep your heels down if possible. It may feel terribly unsatisfying, but this is important. This is like good foundational work. Keep working, left kidney, right knee. You may notice the right hip and the right sit bone moves toward the left sit bone to help you a little bit. Keep the connection of your big toe mounds and the outer edges of your heels. Then left hand to the floor, please. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Take the right leg back behind you. Vasisthasana, arm extends. Now, left knee can be down for some. But again, opening from the kidneys. Notice if that gives you a little bit more sense of stability, like you've got the whole back engaged here, and then extend through the elbows. Strong elbows. Inhale, exhale. Gradually we come down, lowering through. Okay, snow globe. Stop shaking the snow globe for a moment. Let it all settle. Feel the snake-like nature of those teeny tiny bones of the coccyx. Okay, left leg goes up. Stacking the hips. Shoulders are still level. Reaching through the feet. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. Inhale, exhale, thigh in. Foot lands, right heel pivots. Find the whole sole of your right foot. The whole sole. Good, come up. Okay, here we go again. So grab onto the floor, to the ground with your feet. Big toe mounds press. Outer edges of heels press. Sink, sink, sink. Hands to shoulders. Fold. Now right kidney, right over here, looks for left knee without losing the back foot. Yep, this is honesty. There's so many ways to make this look good without keeping the foundation. So do that work. Shins, hug the bones of the legs. Draw left hip back behind. Right kidney toward left knee. This may be a lot easier for you than it is for me. Yes, okay, then right hand down, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, left leg back, reach from the kidneys, and then open the heart at the same time. So you've got front body open, back body open, elbows, extend through the elbows. If you're not here yet with this pose, please bring your knee to the floor. Good, feel the expansiveness of your body, super vital, capable of so much. Open the lens. Inhale, exhale, gradually we make our way down. Take it slow, maybe bringing knees to the floor. And we come down and we rest on a cheek. And we feel. We let it all settle again. Like we're listening, we're all ears, listening internally. Making space to listen so that we can gently hold what comes up. This container business is really rather critical right now, isn't it? Otherwise, what comes up consumes, just consumes. All right, let's take the hands now under the shoulders, draw back, and then 2 downward facing dog. Settle. That's what I tell my dogs all the time, settle. The puppy within. Walk the feet in a little bit. Let's come into a squat. So the squat's kind of interesting. You can send the arms forward. If you find that you cannot bring the heels to the floor, would you roll up your mat and place the mat underneath the heels so you can ground the heels. Then reach the arms forward from the kidneys again. You can feel how there's like this huge wings when we engage across the rhomboids, the latissimus dorsi, major space back there we want to make. Fill up that space with your breath. Breathe into the back of the lungs and down low, the low part of the back of the lungs. Okay, so let's see if we can keep these sensations when we come into, yes, the pose of the season, crow pose. Hands come to the ground, then lift the kidneys up. Feel how your coccyx has moved toward your pubic bone, your navel's drawn into your spine, your knees are high up on your arms. If you're new to this, you're going to take a pillow in your living room and you're going to put it in front of your head. You're going to look forward and your knees will be on your triceps. If you've been doing this for a while, knees high up toward the armpits, thighs right up against the ribs. Feel the kidneys. Extend through the elbows. Come forward, look forward. Good. Then take feet off. Feet can touch, and we want to do this from the kidneys. Squeeze the arms, feel your crow fingertips. Keep that rounding, and then gradually come back down. How did that go for you? Was it good? So pretty interesting, right? You can see how when you're newer, what will happen is the chest is down. Of course, the chin is lifted because no one wants to fall on their face. Although some people do drop their head. Never drop your head. But with the chest down, you're in a back bend here, when in fact that needs to happen. So let's do one more. Keep as much upward sucking as you can get, okay? Hands up, round, from mid-back, knees in, navel to spine, feet lift, fingertips grab, and keep the rounding. Down we come. Okay, let's settle down for a moment. Take the legs long. Let's roll the wrists. So I'll have my wrists touching the whole way. And then other way. Great. Okay, so first let's come into Dandasana. Staff pose. Fascinating posture. Bend your knees first so that your spine is long. Notice the tendency whether you tend to go this way or this way. Now, if you go this way, get yourself up onto some blankets so that you can be upright. It's really important. Find the pubic bone coccyx connection. When you fold forward, notice how the pubic bone moves toward the coccyx. Move from there as opposed to from the lower back, because over time that's going to not be sustainable. So try tipping. It's like tipping the glass forward and then fold. Upper back rests on thighs. Maybe we begin to straighten the legs. But let's keep this relationship happening with the rib cage and the thighs. And then rest. Rest the mind in this space. Good. Feel the kneecaps engage. And now coccyx moves toward pubic bone on the way up. Okay, good. Let's bring right knee in and roll the leg out. Okay, yes, we're back to this twist. So we're finding the right kidney. We're moving right kidney toward left knee as if they're magnets as we fold. And you may notice that you're headed toward your pinky toe. You want to be, but have it be from there. And the arms can release down, or you can take them around the foot if you have that option, or ankle, doesn't matter. Keep that. You want to get this in your, I don't want to say muscle memory, in your body memory. This twisting action. Kidney to knee. Then let the right sit bone root, sinking it. Move it away from right kidney. And then inhale, gradually rise. Right leg long. Left foot in. Rolling out. Left sit bone plants. Left kidney to right knee. Moving forward. You go slow enough to feel. Yes, and then settling in. And keep your awareness of left kidney, right knee the whole time as you settle in. There's a little ringing out here. And then here we go. Inhale, come back up. Okay, so let the left leg release. Just pause. Back to Danda, the staff. So rest on demand. Demand is a strong word, but in this practice we want to be able to, when faced with anything internally, be able to soften around it, rest, create room for whatever is here. So that whatever is here is not the whole thing that is here. We are a container and we hold whatever is here. Yeah? So our sense of self remains regardless of what comes and goes. Right knee draws in. Now, here we go. Left kidney, right knee. Notice, let's do this a couple times. Notice how the right sit bone moves back and then come back. Move from there. One more time. Left kidney, right knee. Then hold the leg. Right hand back or left arm around. But keep it, instead of the arms getting involved, kidney, knee. You can feel how there's this projection out of your left heel, left leg. Keep the shoulders out of, like really draw them downward. Good, then releasing. Right leg long, left knee draws in. We don't have to work very hard to work very hard. So we come in, now right kidney. See if you can find it without the arms. Right kidney, left knee draws in a little bit too, then maybe cross. Reach through right heel, so back and forth a little bit. You may find some sticky bits on one side. Good, exploring. So practice doesn't ever get dull unless we are on automatic pilot. Pretty interesting. I would say this is true with life as well. Okay, so go back to right kidney, left knee. Sole of left foot presses. Right heel reaches. And grow it in your own body. And we unwind. Okay then, so let's bring the feet together. Let's round the spine. So coccyx moves to a pubic bone first, then we come in. And let's keep that sense. As we fold forward, keep the coccyx moving toward the pubic bone. We're going to round our way down. Press your feet in toward each other. Breathe into the upper back. Let the head and neck hang. And see how round you can become, like a bug. Send your arms long, kidney to hands. Fingertips touch the floor. Then coccyx to pubic bone, rise up. So we'll take the opposite now. Pubic bone toward coccyx. Tip, 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 tip. Press the feet. Back stays long. Reaching out through the back of the head. So 2 kinds of Baddha Konasana. There's probably many more, but 2 that we're interested in today, where we've got this length and then we've got this rounding. this is brought to you by the pelvis. Good. Slowly we rise. All right, so take the feet to the floor. Arms out in front. We come down slowly. Coccyx moves toward pubic bone. See if you can remember the seahorse tail, rounding your way down. Release onto the back. Setting up for bridge. So yes, indeed, this bridge, you are going to imagine that you have a long snake tail, and that long snake tail will bring you up. Really long, and the tail moves that direction toward the knees and up, 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 up. You may slide the arms in underneath and lift from the tail. I don't know why this was so revelatory. It could very well be that you got this instruction early in your practice, but I have not really, in all these years of practicing, understood how the coccyx could help support my postures. So keep growing that tail as if it was, I don't even know, 20 feet out in front of you. And the whole tailbone is following that imaginary tail. You can feel how the glutes are engaged automatically with that. Now retract the shoulder blades, draw them in toward each other. Spread your breath across the top chest. Don't lose the tail. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Don't lose the tail. And then release the arms to the sides. Come down one vertebrae at a time. And I mean one vertebrae at a time. See if you can get into the lumbar. Just appreciating each one. Soles of the feet come together, knees go wide, pause, and I'll feel into this container. Big bowl. Noticing sensation. And we just allow everything to settle. Mingyur Rinpoche calls this, well, he doesn't call this, but the practice of meditation, one of his terms is resting in awareness. When we move the body to learn how to rest in awareness. We appreciate every subtle sensation. Tethering the mind to the breath, which is our root. That's something we can rely on, is the breath. When our routine is disrupted, when we don't know one day from the next, where can we tether our attention? On the breath. This is called learning how to live moment by moment. This is present moment awareness training. We all wanted that anyway. Life gave it to us. So let's take one more bridge, drawing the legs together. And it may turn into wheel. Engage the tail. Send it, send it, send it up, 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 up. Good. Retract shoulder blades. Keep your awareness on this long tail. If you're going on, hands under shoulders, arms parallel. Don't lose the tail. Then come lightly onto the top of the head. Your arms now are parallel for sure. You can see them through your peripheral vision. The feet press, the hands press. Now move from the kidneys to hands, and then open the heart. Press the big toe mounds of the feet. If you're going to move in, move your feet in a little bit. Now find, this is subtle for bridge and for wheel, can you draw pubic bone toward coccyx and coccyx toward pubic bone just a little bit, and then spill out through the chest, through the throat. Maybe you can extend through the elbows. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Slowly, slowly we release. We all come down, and then we turn ourselves back into the pot. Soles of the feet together, knees go wide. Settling the snow globe. Making room for whatever we find. Sometimes what we find will automatically go to a story because it can be challenging to feel. Let's see if we can remove language from the pot and feel in. And it's going to be, as my dad used to say, it's going to be A-okay as we learn how to explore with courage and tenderness whatever is here. As a sensation as opposed to a story. The most important thing is we create the space first so that we can see it and feel it. Now let's interlace the fingers once again. Elbows go wide. Then bring your legs together and allow the legs to travel out to your left. And from here, you might move your chest and your arms toward the right, as if your right elbow could make contact with your right heel. Breathe all along the side. So spaciousness, awareness, and tenderness. Meeting whatever we find with tenderness. Slowly we come back. Legs go to the other side. I've got the ball of my left foot pressing, then upper back. Elbow looks for the heel. Explore the opening there. Good, and then releasing, coming back. Okay, I might go over just a little bit today. I hope that's okay with you. I want to come to a seat. And what we'll do is we're going to round the lower spine, and we'll see about bringing the knee in and then externally rotating the leg. We might turn the thigh. See if we can bring this foot up toward the ASIS. It's right around where the psoas is. It may not work, it may not come in. When we do that, we keep the foot soft. Then the heel lands, and we turn this leg, turn, external rotation, and see if we can slip this foot on top or underneath. In any case, let's come to Padmasana or half lotus or comfortable seat. Now we'll balance everything. So balance left and right side. See if we can draw the breath in toward the central channel, which we care so much about, sometimes called the middle path. We'll take the right thumb tip to the right nostril. Sometimes people go like this with their hands, and they use the ring fingertip when these two are together, and these two rest here. Sometimes these two float. So we inhale, close left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale right. And close right, exhale left. Inhale left. And close left, exhale right. Breath is smooth, it's soft, it's easy. It's a restful breath, moving at your own pace now. It's said that we're balancing sun and moon channels here. One's a little hotter than the other. Right side generally is the sun side. Left the moon side. You can imagine that you're breathing right into what we call the third eye of awareness at times, the forehead center. Take the breath right there. And at the end of your next exhalation, release the hands. The palms can be up or down. Breathe right into forehead center. Feel the long spine, as if the breath could travel right down the center of the spine. Feeling as though, because we are, feel the support of the ground, making contact with the body. And then imagine the space above the top of the head, this wide open space. And as the breath moves down, it contacts the ground. And as we exhale the breath back up, it makes contact with the space above the head. It's interesting to be a conduit for these two spaces, earthly life and the life of wide open possibility. You can remain here or take your body down to the ground, lying back in Shavasana. See if you can hold, make me an instrument of thy peace. Fascinating. Or the flute, Krishna's flute, that we are making ourselves vehicles so that we can be an expression of the highest good. See if you can tether your awareness to the ground and to the sky simultaneously. So, like the open pot, an open earthenware pot. We are this shape for this precious time. And in that shape holds space. And that space that's there is able to hold whatever comes and goes. Mark Epstein, therapist, probably a Buddhist, says, the realization that there is something essential within us that is not necessarily tarnished by calamitous experience. Not necessarily tarnished by calamitous experience. It's polishing the mirror with our awareness and our heart.
Just taking a few deeper breaths. Moving the toes and the fingers a little bit. Drawing the knees into the chest. Let's wrap the arms around the legs. Give ourselves a hug. Rolling to one side. And offering whatever benefits we found from our practice this morning to others. I love the image of the flute or the vehicle. We pass along right away. Anything we've received, we pass right along to others, especially those who are suffering. May they be happy and healthy, and may they be at peace. And we gradually make our way up to a comfortable seat and a long spine. See if we can find the middle way, the central channel. See if we can just rest on demand is too strong a word. So is command. Create an invitation for yourself to rest in awareness. We learn how to do that at the drop of a dime. Draw the palms together. We'll close with 3 ohms this morning. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Hands come to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady. May we be present. May we be joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. Our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste. Okay, good luck. May you rest in awareness today often. And let's use every challenge before us as a practice. Can we rest around it? It doesn't mean turning away from it. Doesn't mean coming up against it. It just means making space for what is here, okay? Let's become experts. Let's become beginners. All right, talk to you soon. I hope I talk to you soon. I look forward to seeing you. You know, Halloween, we're going to be out in the parking lot. So I'll be here next week, probably the week after. And then that Halloween weekend, I will be at the front door leading 2 classes, 9 and 10:30. Halloween costumes and masks are required. Once you get on the mat, you can take the mask off. We're going to continue on with life as we know it. We do Halloween at the studio, so I am looking forward to seeing you. You want to sign up though, because space is limited. All right, we will be safe. Take care.